Line up, you f***ing nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. The money line. We are live. It's UFC Fight Night, Charlotte. I'm AJ, joined as always by my guy, Mike Finch. What's happening, bro?
Doing good in the neighborhood, my friend. I'm super excited to talk about this card because I think it's one of the best fight nights we've had. But just got to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in live to the Henry Cejudo fight. I wanted to come say hi to you guys, and I did not make it to come say hi. How dare I? That would have been a good fight to watch live with you because it was close. I saw you made a video about it. I haven't checked it yet, but that whole card going to be fun to talk about, and interested to hear your thoughts on the main event.
Yeah, bro. We'll talk a little recap city for the pay-per-view, which I thought was, a decent enough card. Wasn't one of the highs of, my MMA coverage life, but, it was decent. There was some fights on it. It was a sad night of bets, unfortunately.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Well, Crone did not. I mean, come on, bro. I picked Jourdain because I didn't know.
Don't rub it in, you son of a gun, bro. Don't rub it in.
No, I don't mean to rub it in. I mean to say, like, Crone is a specialist.
He sucks.
And he really, really showed, like, when he's pulling guard out there. Dana called it 1990s. He said it was back to the 1990s.
Yeah.
Did you see Craig Jones made a breakdown of it?
I didn't see that. No. I haven't even thought of that fight after that.
Other shit on YouTube, but that's a good one. Craig Jones kind of recapped it, and Craig's the first guy to criticize jiu-jitsu and MMA. Just interesting take Craig had on it. Dude, I think Crone could be great. He just needs to wrestle.
Yeah, well, I'll give up on the hope of greatness for him at 34. I think his time is...
He's great. It's just Charles Jourdain is also a black belt.
Yeah, he's good.
When he's in full guard, he could just kind of, be very, very patient and conservative. And he's a hell of a kickboxer, bro.
Yeah, he can strike. He called out Barboza. I say thumbs up. Give him the Barboza fight. I'm all in, bro. I'm down to see that fight. Now, looking through the card, I want to talk the big fight. The big fight of the night was obviously not Ian Gary and fucking Rodriguez, bro. I'm going in the wrong direction. It was Aljo versus Cejudo. Listen, Aljamain Sterling, he gets the win. I thought he deserved the win. I scored it for him. And that is, picking Cejudo. I thought that Aljo won the fight. Even though Cejudo finished strong and landed some late takedowns in certain rounds, he was still losing a lot of the striking. Even though it wasn't like he was getting cracked with big punches, there was just still more on Aljo's side. And even in the clinch, Aljo was tricky. He got, near back position. There wasn't any crazy moments where the fight was nearly over at any point. No one got really hurt. Cejudo put up a good fight, man. But Aljamain Sterling retains the title. He does what he does best, man.
Good fight, close fight. I think the difference was Aljo's kicks. It seemed to me that Aljo was just very active with those body kicks and leg kicks, and Henry tried to stay up with him. Henry would eat one and then give one back, but he was always just a little behind in the kicks. And, I see some people saying, well, Aljo landed so many more strikes, so how could you possibly say it's for Henry Cejudo? That's not how you score fights, folks. You score fights by round, and if you score it by rounds, I had this thing 3-2. I on the first watch did have Aljo, and I would have to, run it back to really score it. But, I think I gave Henry the 5th, which is interesting since it seemed like the 5th was actually the swing round and people gave that one to Aljo. So, I would have to run it back and watch it. But I do think one thing to comment on would be Aljo's kicks were very frequent and made a big difference. Another thing I saw, it struck me right away, was when Henry came out even, he's in his deep stance as normal, but he wasn't quite as light on the bounce as he was, especially at 125 and even at 135 against TJ Dillashaw or against Dominic Cruz. He was a little bit heavier. And it's funny because that's pretty much what he criticized Conor McGregor about. Now, Conor McGregor had no bounce when Henry Cejudo was famously criticizing him. Conor made a response video to this fight, and it's all fun and games. But really coming back down to the core of what Henry was talking about originally, he was somewhat of a victim of that himself. He needs to be out there jumping rope. I mean, back when I went to Conquer Boxing, Lake County Boxing, they would always warm you up for boxing practice with 15 minutes of jump rope. And the reason why you do that is it gets you on the balls of your feet. If Henry was a little more on the balls of his feet, I could imagine him making some more of those kicks miss. I could imagine him having some more success. It did look to me like Henry had 3 years off. I mean, so like when you look at it like that, just saying it flat out, I think Henry's better. I think he just was a little rusty.
Yeah, I think he was a little rusty, which we talked about that before. Is the ring rust going to be evident? Slightly, I think it was. I do want to answer this question. I also wanted to just shout out the live chat as a whole. Much love to everybody watching. My guy says, what is a super chat? He was asking how to donate. So this is a super chat. If you're in the live chat on your phone, you see this dollar thing, you click, and then it's going to say super sticker or super chat, either or. You'll click on them. And then you'll send whatever fucking price point. You want to send 20, you want to send 10, you want to send 5, you want to send 1. That's how you do it, just for my guy. I want to say something too about
super appreciated, fam.
So true, because I've been getting back into boxing, and any day that I do not jump rope before boxing, I feel like my fucking legs are an extra 10 pounds on each of them. It's like weird.
Go.
You're kind of like stuck, like almost like, I don't want to say like you're walking in fucking glue, but it's like you can't really get that little jump in your step. And Cejudo probably didn't jump rope for a few years, and that shit was real, man. You could see he didn't have the same fucking bounce. He used to have great pep in the step, and then Aljo gets him. It's still a close fight. So then I wonder, okay, what if Cejudo decides I want to come back? What does he do? I wake up to his tweet. He's calling out Merab. He said it's not over. He wants Merab now. He wants to take him on at the August card in Boston, Massachusetts. Shout out, so I'm down. I'm down for that. I'd watch.
He's crazy for that. Come on,
I'm in.
Henry.
Let's do it.
Henry, rethink this shit, Henry. Did you see Merab's last performance? Henry, come on, bro. We need to get you a comeback fight. Then you go up there and fight these guys. He was talking about this being his warm-up fight. I know what he's thinking. I know why he's thinking it. He thinks he's right there with Volk. So for him, he's like, oh, I'll just walk over this guy. You learn the hard way in life sometimes, man. It's better to have that comeback fight. I mean, yes, now he did have one in a competitive split decision, but come on, man. Merab is a tall task. Henry, I'd like to see you bounce back with something a little lower than that. But if you look at the division, there's actually a bunch of murderers, right? Yeah. So you'll have to kind of dig in the bottom 15 maybe, and not that top 5, which is pretty loaded at the top of bantamweight. So yeah, no easy fights. 155, 145, 135. I mean, you're in some deep water there in the UFC. One more thing about the bounce. Send me a video of Muhammad Ali hitting focus mitts. You won't find it. What Muhammad Ali would do is he would do ring work, he would jog, and he would jump rope. And that is the foundation of good boxing and good footwork. And if Henry just adjusts a couple things, man, he could be the best bantamweight in the world still. 36 years old. I don't know if you heard this stat that the media kept saying, where something like 2 or 3 bantamweights who are 36 years old plus have won, and 20 something have lost. In the UFC. Have you heard this stat?
I heard something like that.
I mean, that's a crazy stat for Henry to add to as well. Yeah,
listen, Cejudo, I think he could still beat a lot of guys. Like, I imagine he beats a Pedro Munoz and shit. But yeah, Merab's a tall task. I will say this. I think Cejudo's one of those guys that balls to the wall all the way in always. And he realizes that the biggest fight he can get right now is probably Merab. But then I'm going to play devil's advocate. What if he says, I'm going up to 45, give me Max Holloway? That's a fight that I think he could get, but I think the stylistic matchup is just not optimal. Holloway with tremendous defense of the takedown, the length, I just don't think Cejudo would do well there. I think better off he fights Merab than fucking Holloway, even though it'd be a cool fight.
Jesus, bro. At 145, you remember he was the UFC 125-pound champion, right? I mean,
he's in trouble.
This guy's already up at the higher weight class.
Yeah.
Do we got to put him in? Should we put him at heavyweight next? Holy shit.
He's moving
These
up.
Featherweights are huge, man. All right, I'm pulling up the rankings now.
Yeah, let's see who you want. What's the Mike Finch match make?
All right, let's match make. Chito Vera. Henry
Chito
Cejudo,
Vera?
Chito Vera.
I like that fight actually. That makes a lot more
That's
sense.
a good fight for Henry. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, I think it's a hard fight for Cheeto, for sure.
He's a hard fight for Cheeto. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
I like
You
that fight.
know, yeah, you could imagine a Pedro Munoz fight, a Ricky Simone fight, a Yanez fight, but no, I think Marlon Chito Vera is the next one. Marab, dude, Marab's a bad motherfucker.
Marab's a bad man.
All right,
Shout out to Mark
I
Bagley.
got called
Coolest
out
guy.
by name. Night City. It's right at the top.
Let me first shout out the 50, bro.
Please.
The 50
Oh
gets
my
priority.
God.
Mark Begley, our guy, throws $50 at us.
Those are US dollars.
USD, bro.
Mark, can I give you a round of applause, Mark?
Mark, good man.
That's what I'm talking about, Mark. That's
Let's go,
what the
champ.
fuck I'm talking about. Thank
Good
you, my
shit.
friend.
Thank you, Mark. We appreciate you a ton. I do want to pull up. You got called out. Where'd you get called out, Finch? Where's it at?
A little above. Hey, Mike, should I throw my net worth? Okay, first off, we don't bet our net worth.
Fuck
okay.
no. Fuck no.
That's not the risk reward ratios we're working with here, fam.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes people ask me, would you bet your life on it? I say a life is not to bet, nor is a net worth.
No.
So no, don't do that shit.
And as far as this is Bellator, bro. So, you know, this is tricky picks. I don't know, Mike Finch, Kamdiov and Bernoy.
Oh man, there's a lot of hype about Baranoy, and you know, pretty well deserved too. So I'm gonna stay away from the Bellator picks, but dude, bet responsibly, not your net worth. That's my advice.
Respect, Mike Finch. I agree. Now I want to talk Aljo real quick. He's taking on Sugar Show, and it seems like the masses believe that Aljamain will run Sean O'Malley over. And I'm gonna play the other side here. The length of Sugar Show is a real factor.
Fuck yeah.
And when have we seen Sugar Show bullied on the ground? Not saying he wouldn't lose in grappling to Aljamain Sterling, but I can't think of a fight recent where Sugar Show is getting bullied in grappling. I know he competes in grappling. I know he trains with, I believe, Augusto Mendez, if I'm not mistaken, the name, high-level grappler.
Oh, his head coach competes in pro grappling all the time.
I feel like
the redhead dude.
Yeah, Tim Welch too. Yeah. Listen, I feel like the grappling of Sean O'Malley is something that people kind of put as like this huge suspect, but I feel like it's not like he is incapable there. So then I think about the striking department.
And
Henry Cejudo, way shorter, couldn't get inside and land punches, but he did land some straights. I think Sean O'Malley's a hard fight for Aljamain Sterling, and I think that everybody is writing Sugar Show completely off. I really believe that, and I think Sean O'Malley could potentially sleep Aljamain Sterling.
Yeah, Sean O'Malley's hands are way better than Aljamain Sterling's. Aljamain Sterling's kicks are better than Sugar Sean's. So, yeah, interesting matchup. I like Sugar Show's hands, dude. He's on fire with it. His takedown defense is good. His stand-ups are even better. I think that's a great fight, man. That's not a one-sided ass whooping if that's what people are mapping out here. No, I don't see that as a one-sided ass whooping. I see that as a really good fight.
Yeah, agree, dude. I think that people are completely writing off Sean O'Malley.
Are they? Is that what you're seeing?
I'm seeing this online. Oh, Aljo's going to dog walk him in a one-round submission. And that's not what's going to happen. A lot of people are going to say, oh, shit, Sugar Show's actually bringing the fire out to him. And I think Sean O'Malley will be a very live underdog as we get to it. So, you know, we'll see, bro. We'll see. We'll talk about that pick as we get there. I want to also bring up the co-main event of the evening on the card, which a ton was on the line here. Shout out to Bilal, Mike Finch, bro. Clap it up.
Who cashed it? Come on,
I
folks.
pick against Bilal. I always lose every time.
I should have locked it. Why didn't I lock Bilal every other fight but this one? How dare
Did you lock Clark?
What's that?
Did you lock Devin Clark?
Hell.
Who'd you lock last week?
Hell no.
Who was the lock dog? I don't remember.
Last week we had the same lock, didn't we? We had that bulldozer who got run the fuck over by Porter, bro. He came out there throwing big punches, and then turns out he has zero grappling. Looked like a turtle on his back.
That was bad.
That's what you get. Super risky play, but one that we were dumb enough to do.
Yeah, we listen. We had a moronic week. I think it was just Cejudo on the card. We got blurred. I don't know what the fuck happened because
No, I
Bilal
was
was the
glad
lock.
Bilal came through. Bilal made me
Yeah,
happy. Seeing
me
Bilal
too.
beat Gilbert Burns, injury or not, that made me enjoy the night.
Dude, he looked nice out there. I feel like Bilal Muhammad's that guy.
He's a 5-round fighter, man. People
Awesome
got to
gas.
understand as soon as Gilbert agreed to 5 rounds, that was not good. No,
Yeah.
it's all about Gilbert's injury. I mean, whatever happened, that was terrible. Having to fight with one arm is just a tragedy.
It's unfortunate because, the what if for Gilbert Burns now, because he's out of the title picture. I
Yeah.
said this in the recap and I was very harsh, but honest. I don't think Gilbert Burns ever gets another title fight. The only way he would is if he wins a fight and there's some type of injury. It's a hard road back after falling in those top contender spots once, falling to the champion once, and then in another top contender fight, he loses. Now, Bilal is supposed to be fighting the winner of Colby and Leon, but Colby said, "Oh, I'm not fighting Leon until December," something like that. Or where he's going to have to wait. He's going to have to take another fight. I'll be honest, man. I want to see Bilal Muhammad get his fair shake. I want to see him punch Colby Covington in the face. I'll be fucking rooting for Team Bilal all day over Colby. I won't lie to you. I think that Bilal could potentially be next up if Colby's actually being serious about not doing it by September, October. Because that's when I'm expecting the fight. The latest is fall. I would like to see it August. I'd like to see it soon. I want to see them throw down real soon.
Colby wants to fight tomorrow, right? Isn't the holdup
He's
Leon?
saying December now. He said this, it was Submission Radio, I think. I don't know. I saw the quote of it.
What are we waiting on?
He said he's waiting. I don't know. And it's going to be him and Leon. So is Bilal going to have to be on the sidelines? I hope not for too long because I want to see Bilal get a shake.
I'm under the impression we were waiting on Leon.
That's what I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we're waiting on Leon. I don't know.
Got you. Yeah, let's get that ball rolling. I mean, how many times has this happened where somebody, gets to the title, they get to their goal, and they're like, I don't want to fight right away. The UFC's like, hey, can we put this title up, Francis Ngannou? He's like, no, I don't want to fight. So once you get the belt, defend it. Just so they know out there, you make a lot of money when you're the champ. So milk it, folks. Entertain us.
Yeah, give us the fucking fight. I want to see Bilal get his fair shot because that's a guy who's earned the fucking title shot. That's a long road to it. And, you only have so much time in your MMA prime. His next fight should be a world title crack. For Burns, take some time, rest it up, and hopefully he's back in a big fight soon.
Yeah, 100%. Other notes on the card, ridiculous KO with the ladies. That was awesome.
Andrade, she's finished, bro. I think you had the hunch that she was past her best days, but I didn't want to believe it. I'm like, she's only 31. But the Blanchfield fight we should have took is no, that was it. Because she was just trying to fucking throw hammers at Xiaonan and just walks into it. Like it was just a reckless style with no respect for the power on the other side. And damn, Yan Xiaonan's scary.
Yeah, I told you guys on the show. I told my friends. I told my friend Jeremy, my friend Kevin, my friend Tawab. I told all of them, like, man, once I see somebody quit like that, once I see somebody mentally break in a fight like Jessica Andrade did against Erin Blanchfield, I'm now extremely hesitant to place money on them thinking that they'll win a fight. Fighting is very mental. It's very mental. You have to be very tough. And, any bad decision making or quitting is a huge red flag. So, some poor decision making there. She got lit up for it. Congrats to Xiaonan. And she's a hell of a striker, man. She showed it.
That's
big deal. And then we almost capped off Porky Porter, but I just want to say Porky Porter not so porky anymore.
No,
good for him. Another one of those where you got to see it at weigh-ins because the dude lost weight. He looked trim. That's always a good sign with these heavyweights, man.
He looked good, man. I think that he fought a guy that was unfortunately just not UFC
green as
level.
Grass.
Green as it gets, man. Not
Punched
UFC.
him in the face, like ran out there.
He could hit hard. Good
But
football player, man. Heavy-handed, but ultimately did not have grappling, and
like
you need to got it all, bro.
Over.
Yeah, that was awful. It is what it is, man. That's the fight game. Jourdain looked solid, beating up Kron. And then Movsar Evloev went to war with Diego Lopez. Lopez, welcome to the UFC. that was a dope performance. In loss there, he gained a shit ton on his stock, and I'll be watching him fuck people up. I feel like he's a guy that in the future is going to be a very considerable betting spot, because you fight the number 10 guy in the world on just days notice, and you actually put him in bad positions, finish with a knee bar. Like, there's this huge moments for Diego Lopez, not a winner of the fight, but a winner of the fans. And I think for his career, he's put a lot up, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. Evelev is just so high level. So to come in there and have even a competitive fight on short notice like that, big statement for sure. You know, I think Bryce Mitchell would have been in more trouble than that. I mean, that was a pretty good performance. So super fun to watch, top to bottom, fun card to watch. I had fun watching the prelims too, man. So not a bad pay-per-view. I hope Henry Cejudo got some dollars and some of you guys tuned in and bought that one, because that was you know, at least entertaining fights, I think. I know AJ didn't have the most fun, but you know what? I still think that I think one of the things that people are hung up on is they didn't get that satisfaction of that Charles Oliveira fight that was supposed to be on there. And then the Bilal fight just kind of, you know, an injury and it went to decision and all that. So, yeah, left just a little bit to be desired in that realm. Overall, though, judging how the fights went, dude, those were some good fights, man. Yeah. And you know, Phil Hawes getting absurdly KO'd was pretty fucking wicked.
Dude, oh my God, this 1-2 and Phil Hawes just body hits the floor, bro.
Holy, the straight up 1-2, folks.
Oh, you
ain't got to get fancy in there. Nope. You ain't got to get fancy. I always ask people when I train them, I'm like, what's the quickest way to get from me to you? You know, you go straight forward. I say, hello, my name is Mike. And I reach out and I reach my hand. For whatever reason, when people want to punch somebody right in front of them, they go, and they loop this long path. But if I drew that out, that would be so much longer of a path, right? Could you imagine walking up to meet somebody? Hi, my name is Mike. And I walk in a 5-foot circle around to come shake your hand. You'd be like, this guy's crazy. But that's what everybody does when they punch, right? You could beat a looping puncher, pop straight down the pipe. So I love that 1-2. So clean, so crispy, and turn the lights out. What a beautiful highlight and a great way to make a debut.
And he calls out Bo Nickel after, and DC was like, no.
They better protect Bo. They better protect Bo. I agree with DC.
Yeah.
Don't make that fight.
Don't make that fight, bro. Don't make that fight. That's a different level. You don't want to fight Ali Askarov without having 10 fights to your name, because he's been around.
Bo, a striker.
Yeah, he's fighting Tresean Gore next. That's a striker.
Yeah, he's gonna mop Tresean early in there. But you know, in a fight like that, you know, where Khamzat Chimaev was getting denied on the wrestling, Khamzat Chimaev couldn't take him down. I mean, we didn't really get to see because Khamzat knocked him out in the first round. But you know, he was like 0 for 3 trying to take him down, dude. But Bo would be in some hot water, man. That would be a fun fight to watch for sure.
Hey, one day. But we got a card. Dude, we got a fun card to talk about. I think it's a good fight night, like you said. I want to get into the picks. Let's start it off. First fight of the night on this card, we have Jessica Rose Clark and Tainara Lisboa, who is a UFC newcomer with a good Muay Thai background. She actually fought Shevchenko in Muay Thai. She lost to Norma Dumont in MMA, so she's fought some people. But then you look at her recent fights, Mike Finch. She's fighting fighters that are 1-4, 0-3. No experience, no skill. And to get signed to fight in the UFC against Jessica Rose Clark, a veteran who I know has been hung up with injuries. She was on the Moneyline back when we were more of an interview style pick show. She was on the show and we talked to her. And, you know, I got to say, Jess for the win is the official call. She's going to have a wrestling advantage. And I think on the ground, she'll pretty much control every position that Lisboa is going to have, man. Like, I don't see Lisboa throwing up any dangerous attacks from bottom. On the feet, she's going to have the Muay Thai, but this is MMA. This is not Muay Thai. And also note, when you've never, well, I guess she fought Norma Dumont, but when you haven't been consistently fighting the high-level opposition, to me, it's just major red flag. And we see a lot of these Brazilian prospects come out. Mike, in the past, we've both been, you know, victims of falling into the traps, picking them to win. This one here is not a favorite. She's an underdog, but I'm not falling into the Brazilian prospect trap that's winning against 1-3 girls who, you know what I'm saying, are teaching in schools during the week and then fighting on the weekend. So give me Jessica Rose Clark. That's it.
I would love to see the stats based on it when a UFC newcomer comes in and they fight a UFC veteran. How does it go? Because I think most of the time the UFC veteran wins. And here's another one of those matchups. Look, Lisboa is a good striker. She's a competent striker, but Jessica Rose Clark has fought so much better competition. Yes, Jessica Rose Clark did get her arm broken. Yes, she has had some issues on the floor, but I think she's the better grappler here. She's the more well-rounded fighter. Now, am I going to, open my wallet for this fight? I don't know, but I do think Jessica Rose Clark has got this one, and she'll definitely have me rooting for former Moneyline guest. Yes. So that's still pinned at the top of my Instagram page when she was busting out all the weapons she's got in her back seat. We're laughing. We're like, nobody wants to run up on you. She's pulling out knives, baseball bats. Fucking, I'm sure she had a pistol back there. She didn't show us. She's ready to rock. And I do think she'll have more weapons in this fight. I would expect this thing to go late, but dude, a submission's possible. A Jessica Rose Clark rear naked strangle is totally game, totally live here. But I would imagine this goes long. Jessica Rose Clark decision.
Yeah, I'm with you. Exactly. I said Jess probably by a decision. I'm just hesitant to say that she's going to end up getting a finish because with Jessica Rose Clark, we don't see her urgently shooting for submissions very often. So I just got to ride the side of Rose Clark, getting it done. I'm going to go decision. Now, the line has become near even. It's minus 115 for Jess, and it's minus 105 for Lisboa. This line was favorable towards Rose Clark. A lot of people are picking Lisboa as a dog. I'm calling her the trap dog. I think she is a trap. I'm going Jess, Rose Clark. And if Jessica Rose Clark somehow becomes an underdog at plus 110, I will play the fucking line at Jess dog money. Now, as far as prop bet plus 115, Rose Clark, I don't like that. Probably going over minus 210. What's Clark by sub? Plus 600, but you're banking on something that just is unlikely. So give me Rose Clark with my guy, Mike Finch. She is ever so slightly the favorite, but expect the line to come even closer in the coming days, potentially flipping towards Lisboa as the favorite. So we're going Jess, Mike.
We're going Jess. Agreement to kick it off.
Let's go. Next fight on the card. This is a good one, man. This is a real good one. I feel like Bryan Battle has got a good showcase fight here against Gabe Green. Now, Gabe Green, tough customer on the opposite side.
Yeah.
But Bryan Battle's got that length advantage. He's an Ultimate Fighter winner, and he also's got a solid wrestling base. It's going to be such a dogfight. And I also want to say there's some intangibles here, Mike Finch. Bryan Battle fighting at home. He's from Charlotte. He now gets a showcase here. I don't know. I feel like there's something on his side. I've been having this feeling that Bryan Battle is very live in this matchup. He's an underdog, and I'm picking Bryan Battle to win a hard-fought and competitive decision. I'm respecting Gabe Green on the other side. I know he's a tricky out. I know this isn't an easy fight, but I think Bryan Battle can do it, man. His last fight, he takes on an absolute killer Russian. Come on, man. This is different level, brother. Different level. Let me ride with my guy, Bryan Battle, to do it.
I think this is a good fight, dude. Gabe Green's kind of a beast. Gabe Green definitely has better hands than Bryan Battle. He's a little more dangerous on the feet than Bryan Battle. Bryan Battle probably is a better kicker. Yeah. The head kick knockout was so sick, dude. That was so beautiful, the way he set that up. But you'd have to think Green is probably going to walk forward and be somewhat of a bully in there. Green in his prime, 30 years old. I'm the same age, and I feel great. I'm sure he does too. I feel like, the decision loss to Ian Gary, it just says a lot about Ian Gary. It doesn't really take much away from Mr. Green. This is a tough pick for me, dude. I'm on the fence. Bryan Battle's better at jiu-jitsu. And the problem I'm having is, can he get the fight there? Probably not. I think that Gabe Green's physical advantages, the fact that he's stronger, the fact that he hits harder, will probably come into play. I'll just say, don't take my advice on this one, folks. I'll go with the Bryan Battle decision. But dude, Gabe Green can shut people's lights out. He's got good hands, decent takedown defense. Is he a bad matchup for Battle? I don't know. Maybe Battle out kicks him. It's a good fight.
Dude, I'm going with Bryan Battle, baby. Dog.
I'll double up
I
with
think
you.
he can
You're
do
more
it, man.
confident than me, though. You're not
Yeah,
sweating
I am.
Green's hands, dog.
I just think Battle's length, bro. What's the reach differential here? It's not crazy, but I know Bryan Battle. What has he got? 5? That's a lot, bro. 5 inches is something. That's something. And I think that even though Green's got some nice hands, Battle from the outside, Battle's definitely stronger than a Phil Rowe. I know people are like, oh, but Green beat Phil Rowe. Bryan Battle's going to be way stronger in those clinch positions. And Battle's a former middleweight. I like Bryan Battle a lot. I believe in his game. I believe in his work ethic. So there's some intangibles that I'm bringing in. And like I said, he's at home. I got to ride with our guy, Bryan Battle. So a little more confident than you are, though. But I'm going Bryan Battle for the win. Now, the odds for the fight, Bryan Battle's a plus 115 underdog. Gabe Green at minus 140. So I like Bryan Battle to get this thing done. I wouldn't be propping it up. I see a hard-fought decision, which is plus 185, but I wouldn't play that. If I'm going to bet this fight, I'm money lining Bryan Battle as an underdog.
Fucking good fight, folks. Not a bad second prelim right there.
Yeah, starting the night off early with some fire action, man. I'm fucking stoked for this one. It is an early card, Mike Finch. You're on the West Coast, so it's super early. For me, it's 11:30 a.m. For you, holy shit, what's that? Fucking 8:30? You be asleep, bro. You wake up for the main card.
I'm a vampire, bro. I'm gonna wake up after the main event. Yeah, I don't really go to bed, you know. I just kind of stay up. It's so easy to stay up when you're tired. It's so hard to get up when you're tired. Like when I get up in the morning, I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna lay here for 2 more hours, you know. But at night when I get a little tired, no problem. Throw on some fist fights. You know, I'll be up all night, no worries. So yeah, I'm gonna watch this one on delay. You're gonna be live for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike Finch, come
maybe
on.
I should get the fuck up. Since I missed Cejudo, maybe I have to get up and jump in. So we'll see if I surprise AJ. Are you ready for me? Can I just jump in anytime?
I like it. I like specifics. I'm a little bit autistic with my time. I like a little notice. I like to get prepared. I like to have it ready to rock. You know what I'm saying?
All right. We're gonna figure it out. I owe you one.
All right. Fair point, my man. All right. Listen. So we're going Bryan Battle. We're winning in the AM with Bryan Battle as an underdog. I'm trying to start my Saturday off hot. I don't know. Maybe I watch the fights and then take my winnings to the casino after I cash these fucking throw it all on black, bro.
Hey, you know, it's a good note, though. Now I got to think about who's going to win the fight in the morning.
It's early. Bryan Battle's ready to get up and fight, bro. It's Bryan Battle, my guy.
All right.
Let's go. I'm more confident than you, obviously. Guys, I'm confident in Bryan Battle, as you can sense it. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we got the greatest females in the history of the fucking fight game right here. Listen, we got Yeon Kim, Mandy Böhm. And if you're not super excited for this fight, I think you're a casual. You're not a hardcore fan because this is it. This is the one. Listen, I'm joking around, obviously. I'm not this is one of those fights that if this was the first fight of the night, I'd be starting the live stream at 12:15. You know what I'm saying? Listen, give me Kim for the win.
Don't you dare disrespect these ladies. Kim is tough as fuck, bro. She took that knee to the face from Cachoeira, ate it like a sandwich.
Kim's gonna fuck her up, man. Böhm's got good kicks, but I don't feel like she's got great tools elsewhere. I think that Kim's got better boxing. I think she's tougher. I think she's more ferocious. She's also got a reach advantage. Böhm's biggest attribute she brings into the vast majority of these fights is she has long ass reach. Kim's got longer reach. I gotta go with Kim. I think she'll win a decision. I hope we get a knockout though, but I'll pick Kim by decision.
Jeez, man. Yeah, Kim by decision makes sense. I mean, am I really going to bet on a woman who's 9-6? Like, you know, she's been having a lot of trouble, but this is about the level where she should pick up the dub, right? This is the bottom. We're looking at the bottom of the division here. So, yeah, Böhm has been underwhelming. No real, physical attributes. She's not very strong. She's not very capable of developing a lot of dangerous kinetic energy unless it's in her legs. Probably a fight that goes long. So maybe the best bet here would be the over 1.5. I'll go Kim decision.
Over 1.5 is horrible, bro. Minus 610. But we got over 2.5.
I'm not the only one thinking it'll go late. Okay.
Over 2.5 is minus 325, bro.
Wow. Okay. So everybody else is on to the fact that this thing's going long. Got it.
Yeah, it's most likely going that over. Yeon Kim to win money line is minus 185. Böhm is plus 160. I think Kim gets it done. But yeah, I'm not trying to money liner, to be honest. It's just like Mike Finch said, like 9-6-2. That's a risky bet.
Tainara goes, Kim wins, move on. Bro, I kind of agree. Agree. That's where this is at. You know, this is that point of the division where it's the bottom of the women's divisions. It's just not very deep. I want more for the UFC, right? I want more. Okay. If you go to the bottom of the men's 155-pound division, you are going to find world-class athletes with phenomenally winning records. You know, you'll see some fucking 10-0s down there. That's not what we're looking at here, you know? So it shows that there's an opportunity for those ladies. If you want to be a professional athlete, potentially be a millionaire, I think that it's doable with women's mixed martial arts. You know, it is very, very hard to be the best when there's 50,000 others who want to be the best. But when there's only 500 others, you know, the best, it's a little quicker to get to the top. And I do think with these divisions, we will see deeper talent in the future. That's not what we're looking at here.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this year it's a Kim fight. Kim's gonna win, but yeah, not top caliber, unfortunately. Respect to Böhm though. She's a tough girl, 7-2.
Respect to both of them.
But she's gonna lose this fight.
Oh, Dallas got it. Bring that up. He got it. Yes, dude. Yeah, ladies. Yes, you killed it. You killed it, brother. It's Bill Burr all day. Shout out to Bill Burr.
That's great. Mike Finch, Mr. Bill Burr, right here. Let's go.
He called me out, and he was dead right.
That's it.
Good job.
Good shit. Let's keep running, man. Let's jump to the next one. Next fight on the card we got between Natan, Levy, and Pete Rodriguez. Yes, it's familiar. We broke this down before. And Mike Finch, I was talking a lot about in the last breakdown. How's Pete Rodriguez going to look on the scales? They pushed the fight back a couple weeks so he can lose some extra weight because he wasn't ready for 155. I like that he gets a couple extra weeks to lean out. I think about this fight and I'm like, dude, if Pete Rodriguez looks good on the scales, he's a very live underdog, and I'm not going to just wait to pick flip it in the fucking, weigh-in show. So I just said, listen, guys, I'm picking Pete Rodriguez by knockout. I see him catching Natan Levy. If he is on weight, in shape, and carries the same punching power that we've seen up weight classes, Natan Levy is susceptible to getting caught with the hands in this one. So I'm going to go Pete Rodriguez to win, bro.
I'm going to go the other way with it. I think Levy's going to have a good second and third round. Your first time cutting all the way down. Who knows what the cardio is going to be like. I think Levy's going to try to set a good pace, check him on that, use his legs. I'll go Levy decision in a pretty good fight. Got to stay away from the hands, of course. But, it'll be interesting to see your first time down, like especially against the talent of a Levy on the other side. I think he'll have a little bit of issues, man. I think he might gas a little bit, get the legs chopped up a little bit. Give me Levy decision.
Listen, Mike, I hope you're wrong because Pete Rodriguez is plus 210 as an underdog.
I like that dog snipe. That's a good dog.
It's a good dog. I think it's a live underdog here. It's going to be determining factors. Is Pete Rodriguez able to go 3 rounds? How does the weight cut affect him? Does he carry the power down the weight classes? These are some, intangibles, some questions. We got to find out. We don't know for sure, but I'm going to say that he pulls it off. So I'm going against you on this one, my man. I'm going dog money. Now, Pete Rodriguez by KO is plus 400, just something to mention. But I like Moneyline. Plus 200 is great. So we'll wait to weigh-ins, though. Not betting it yet. Once the weigh-ins come on, we'll see how the confidence is.
You want to see if they're like dragging him up there?
If he shows up at 158 and he has a little belly, I'll flip the pick to Natan Levy and say, fuck this underdog.
Got it.
If he shows up shredded, I'm riding with him to win it.
Okay, fair enough. And what about the ground too? If I think Rodriguez will have issues on the mat too, so that there's a threat there as well. Good fight. I mean, I like the dog snipe. He's live for KO for sure. We'll see the size difference too. I mean, actually, the cooler thing for me is going to see the face off, and if there's a tangible difference there, that would potentially play a factor. But I think Levy's a better mixed martial artist. That's a tough welcome to the division.
Can I say something too? Why Pete Rodriguez? I have confidence in him as well. McGee, who won recently, right? MMA lab guy. Underdog, short notice fight. Pete Rodriguez, MMA lab guy. I respect that gym a lot. So when I see certain names, I'm like, he's training with the Savage Gym. they're not losers, bro. They're winners out there. And like Pete Rodriguez, if he's in shape, he's usually the shorter guy fighting at welterweight, but he's actually the same height as Natan Levy and bringing a 1-inch reach advantage, which with the hands is going to be a factor, assuming he's on weight, assuming he looks ready.
Yeah. Interesting one. I'm rooting for you at this point, AJ.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, brother. We're going Pete. Mike's going Levy. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, it's Carlos Ulberg versus Ihor Potieria. Listen, Carlos Ulberg, I think as long as he stays on his feet, it's a mismatch in the striking department. He's just too crisp with his technique. You look at a common opponent that recently comes to mind, Nicolae Negumerianu, who beat Potieria, and Carlos Ulberg absolutely murdered him. I know we always say MMA math doesn't work, but look at the stand-up game of Potieria and compare it to Ulberg. There is a vast difference in skill. Ulberg can work a long jab. He can kick the fuck out of the legs. He's got power in his hands. He's coming off big knockout wins. And in my opinion, I feel like Ulberg is finally finding his flow. He lost to Kenley Nzechukwu early on, but Kenley Nzechukwu's turned out to be a lot better than we all thought and just an absolute fucking workhorse of a guy. Carlos Ulberg, Potieria, I think Ulberg puts the hands on him and stops him. I'm going Ulberg KO, Mike.
Ulberg KO. It's the way they match up, dude. Ihor Potieria is going to want to kickbox him, and that'll be a bad idea, man. Ulberg's a lot faster. City Kickboxing is a great gym, and it really shows in the way he sets strikes up, the way he puts it all together, man. You could see shades of Israel Adesanya. You could see shades of some of the great kickboxing they have over at that gym, and just the way they match up, dude. Potieria is not the guy you would imagine to put in there to beat an Ulberg. I'd put in somebody from Dagestan. You don't want, to stand up with Ulberg right in front of him like that, kickboxing style. Ulberg all day, probably a knockout if the odds aren't too crazy. Money line it.
Yeah. I think Ulberg as a favorite though it's not great, bro. Minus 425 at most spots, but it says it's actually at minus 295 at my bookie. So if you're over there, that's a decent little tag. And then Potieria is a plus 355 dog. I like Ulberg to win by KO. That's minus 150. Unfortunately, he's just not a very playable bet. I would say Ulberg is more of your, high confidence pick in a parlay type extension play as opposed to straight line. I got a good question here. How much am I putting on Rod? If I throw down on Rod, it's going to be after the weigh-ins, and it's going to be dependent upon my confidence from, $100 down to 50 if I'm not confident, or maybe I'm feeling fucking tremendous and I go harder, 150. But it's going to all be based upon the weigh-ins, man. I have nothing on him yet.
I like Ulberg here, dude. I like Ulberg. As soon as I saw this matchup, that was the easiest pick on the card, bro. Ulberg knockout. Yeah. I think Potieria is gonna be stuck on the feet with him. Yeah. Potieria surprises us with some wrestling. That would be interesting. I don't expect it. Carlos Ulberg, very clean striker. I'm impressed.
Clean Carlos Ulberg for the KO over Potieria. Next fight on the card, we got Cody Stamann versus a zombie. Because holy shit, that picture is doing Douglas Silva de Andrade no justice. He looks like he's fucking in The Walking Dead. Jesus.
Holy fuck.
Holy shit. Listen.
That's a legendary picture, bro.
Holy fuck.
Wow, man. It's like a horror movie, dude.
Listen, I'm picking Rick Grimes to execute the fucking Walker over here. You know what I'm saying? Give me fucking Stamann taking him out. I'm going Stamann for the win, though. I'll pick decision. Douglas Silva de Andrade is a scary motherfucker, though, because he hits really hard and he has like that tight Muay Thai style. But like, I feel like Stamann is way more mobile in the stand-up department and has better wrestling. Andrade got better jiu-jitsu for sure. But if Stamann can just control pace, not put himself in compromised spots, he dictates where the fight goes. He's going to be faster than Andrade. He should be able to outland him, maybe control him against the cage a bit. I'll pick Stamann to win a decision. That's what I'm going with, Mike.
I'm just worried about Stamann getting clipped, bro. That's all. I got Stamann as well. I do think he should mix in his takedowns and wrestling, but Silva's got some pretty nice striking, so he better cross his T's and dot his I's. Stamann could potentially get clipped in this fight, so I wouldn't hate a Silva KO pick, but I like Stamann's hands too, and I do think just the ability for him to make this thing physical, push him into the fence, hit takedowns, threaten with the takedown, come up with the left hook, right hand. I think he can mix it up and get to a decision. Yeah, Stamann decision.
$4.99, my guys. Tainara, thank you for the super sticker. And he said, bro, it's a political answer on Rod. It's an honest answer, bro. The weigh-ins are going to tell me everything. I'm waiting till the weigh-ins, bro.
He's making sure you tune into the other show. He's building anticipation, okay? AJ's strategic about this shit. He needs to spread the frosting over the whole cake. He's got a show every day.
Every single day, baby. Listen, no, it's also because I want to see if he's got abs or not, if he's shredded. Like, when I say abs, it means is he in shape? If he shows up 159 with a little bit of pudge, I might be changing my mind. But if he's at 55 and he looks ready to rock, that's where my confidence is going to be. I'm not going to try to play him if he's not looking good. He's a big dog for a reason, and that's because he's unproven. So that's my reason behind there. Let's talk this fight, though. Stamann, Andrade. As far as the lines for the fight, Cody Stamann minus 150. He's actually a decent-sized favorite, and Andrade at plus 130. I don't like the idea of playing Cody Stamann, even though I think he wins. It's just because I really feel like Andrade is a tricky fight. Over 2.5 is minus 215. You know, I'm never say never on Stamann, but like how I'm feeling right now is he's in a competitive fight and he edges it out in a close one, but not an easy matchup, man.
Not an easy matchup. Yeah, he runs the risk of getting clipped in this fight. So
Yeah.
Stamann decision probably goes late.
Yeah, I think it goes all three. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we got Chase Sherman versus Karl Williams. Another fight that is a rebooking because we've seen it before. You remember it was several cards back. They were supposed to fight. I believe it was 287's pay-per-view, actually. Yeah. And I picked Karl Williams to win then. I'm picking him to win now. There's no change in my mind of how the fight's going to go. I think Karl Williams has a clear advantage in the wrestling department that he is going to take advantage of. He's also going to be faster than Chase Sherman, I think. Not necessarily a better boxer per se, but MMA is not straight hands fighting. I know Chase Sherman had the bare knuckle title at one point. He's a scrappy vet, but unless you're sitting in there mixing up shots with him, he's going to struggle with the versatile attack. And Williams, to me, strikes a bit, but to set up takedowns. And I was saying then, because he's on a big card, maybe he's going to push the finish. I don't know, man. I just don't think Williams is going to push the finish. I think he grinds. Unanimous decision, Karl Williams.
Yeah, unanimous decision, Karl Williams as well. He might try to TKO him, dude. He might just kind of, get a nice ground and pound TKO going. So I could definitely see that as a possibility. Sherman's just, got too many holes in his game, man. Sherman on his back is a problem. If Williams puts him on his back, whether he punches him in the face to get him there or hits those takedowns, I like him in the top position in this fight. So yeah, like a late TKO with a fading Sherman, or or it goes all rounds. You got to go Williams.
Yeah, Williams, he's a confident pick. He has to be. He's a big favorite, minus 410. Sherman plus 310. The TKO for Williams, which Mike brought up, is plus 215. I wouldn't really like the decision at plus 165. I like the KO better. It's plus 215 money. Yeah, so give me the KO at plus 215 as the official call. But give me the decision as the official call, but the KO as like the considerable prop bet. Because I don't think it's impossible, but Moneyline is shit here. So it's more of a parlay extension again, because at minus 410, you're really not making much attacking it.
Yeah, and I just wonder what style Williams is going to bring. It's like when you're in this type of a fight, you got to think you want to make a statement. Right. You don't want to just like eke out a decision against Chase Sherman. What does that mean for the top of the division? With this matchup, he's got to be thinking that he wants to look good in this fight. So the method of victory is hard. That's why I would just caution you guys to money line it. I think this is pretty reliable piece of a parlay. It could be to throw Williams in one. I
agree. And I think that Chase Sherman losing this fight, we get him and Braxton Smith to throw down next time out.
Actually, yes.
Yeah, that's the fight. That'd be a good ass fight. I like that matchup.
I think Braxton Smith needs to throw down with his jiu-jitsu coach because holy fuck, they ain't teaching him shit. It was a mental thing, bro. It was a mental thing. When he was underneath him, the way he was like turned away, he was just kind of, it's one of those Jessica Andrade moments. So
it would be a rematch actually, because Chase Sherman beat him in his MMA debut in 2014.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Well, then now we got a fucking storyline too.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
So,
this should be this is a huge fight, bro.
yeah, huge fight, first fight of the night.
Braxton Smith versus Chase Sherman. As soon as Chase Sherman loses to Williams, bro, pay-per-view headline.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Mike Finch, you know what time it is? It's time for the main card. People watching, make sure you smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Just wanted to say an honest thank you to the people for supporting both the Moneyline and just the channel in general. I blew past 16,000 subscribers on that live stream. So closing in on 20K. Looking forward to that. Now let's talk this fight, Mike Finch. You got Matt Brown versus Court McGee. Veteran versus veteran. I'm picking Matt Brown to win this thing. I think he can TKO Court McGee, but I'm not going to tell you, it's my favorite pick of all time because he's 42. Court McGee is going to attempt to embrace the grind on Matt Brown, but I feel like Brown's just a much more dangerous fighter. So McGee's going to have a control heavy night, not getting hit with any crazy shit, whereas Matt Brown's nasty and close. And I'm like, okay, Court McGee likes to clinch. I like Matt Brown's Muay Thai. I think he's got nasty elbows and knees. So if he can make it dirty inside, McGee was flatlined brutally by Jeremiah Wells in a way that you could never come back the same from that. I got to go Matt Brown to win it, Mike.
Man. Matt Brown's 42 and Court McGee's 38. Could that be the difference? I mean, I do think you sort of hit the nail on the head with the fact that Matt Brown is the one trying to finish this fight. He's going to be using his elbows. He's going to be trying to go, but Court McGee's a better wrestler. And if he just gets to the top position, he's got a couple wins in 2021, 2022. That are respectable. I could just kind of imagine him grinding Matt Brown out. As much as I'd like to see the Immortal just sort of land some nice elbows and take him out. Fade the vets. People say like, dude, no disagreement, Conquest. I believe that both of these guys are too far past their prime to consider a reliable pick here. But I'll go on the other side and go Court McGee decision. I do think Court McGee could potentially get a finish, but Matt Brown's so durable, man. You're not going to make Matt Brown quit either, so it would have to be choking him unconscious. Matt Brown's not going nowhere. I think Court McGee could take him down. So that might bypass the striking disadvantage. I think Matt, the Immortal Brown, is better on the feet. Matt Brown's got some nasty elbows, dude. Watch out, Court. You better stay tight to him because if you leave too much space, even off his back, Matt Brown will carve you up, dude. Fun fight for the vets, but, it's, neither of these guys are seeing a title shot.
Matt Brown is an underdog here at plus 195. Court McGee, the minus 230 favorite. That's big dog money on Matt Brown. Shit.
Wow.
Big dog.
That's why
Listen, if you're betting, whatever, man. I like the dog side more. You're betting a 42-year-old. So, obviously play it intelligently. If you're going for this dog, it's more of, a wider dog snipe. It's not your, up-and-coming underdog prospect. It's a guy holding on. This could be it. This definitely could be it. I look at his last fight. The loss to Barberena was a good scrap. Matt Brown has good matches and, he gives some heat to his opponents even in his later years. Court McGee on the other side, he was winning fights. He beat a Ramiz Brahima, who's no longer with the promotion recently. It's McGee embracing the grind or it's Brown bringing the violence. I'm going the side of violence, bro. I'm a violence guy, baby. Let's go violence. Let's go Matt Brown underdog.
I like violence. I fucking love violence. Scott's right. Smash the like button, everybody. We appreciate it. I think that we could definitely see a fun fight with these two, but I could also imagine them kind of gassing as it goes late, I mean, Matt Brown at 42, I just don't know when he's going to crack because the dude's been a beast. I know mentally he's going to be in it, but his body, bro, he's been through some shit, man. Matt Brown is not the, technical mastermind. He goes in there and goes to fucking war. Now that he's 42, when you get in the car and it's got 300,000 miles on it, you got to think all right, how many more miles this thing got,
Hopefully he's driving on fucking Saturday, bro. That's all we need. We need one last ride. Matt Brown, dog money for me. Mike Finch going Court McGee. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card. We got Alex Morono and Tim Means. I like Alex Morono to chin Tim Means at this point. You got a guy on the come up in Morono who's in his relative prime now, nearly beaten Ponzinibbio before getting flattened. And then you got Tim Means on the other side, who is a crafty veteran of the game, but now 39, almost 40. He's got a little bit of a height edge, though. He's 6'2", and then we got 5'11" Morono on the other side. I feel like Tim Means a little bit more of an upright striking style. I feel like Morono can loop some of those shots over the top that he likes to throw, and he's got a speed advantage too, man. So Morono to lose this fight, I think it would be Means actually looking more towards a grappling heavy attack. In the striking department, I think Alex Morono's piecing Tim Means up, and I'm going to say that he lays him out. I'm going Morono KO.
Woo. Now, Morono's gone to decision with some strikers before, but yeah, against Dirty Bird, maybe, bro. Fuck, is it a finish or not? That's hard. I like Morono in this fight. Is Moneyline too wide, AJ?
Moneyline is sitting at -225.
No, that's not too wide. So yeah, Morono actually might end up in my parlay now that you told me that. No, I got to go with Morono. Let's say Dirty Bird survives to the bell. I mean, he just went to a split decision with Max Payne Griffin. Not the same type of fighter, but I mean, it's hard to finish Dirty Bird. He hasn't really shown that he's easy to KO or something like that. And Morono, he knocked out Donald Cerrone. But that was a while ago, and he's gone to decision since then, besides his last fight against Ponzi, obviously. Give me Morono decision.
Morono decision.
Picking a lot of decisions on this card. Sorry, folks. I hope they're good fights.
I hope so too, man. It's all right. Listen, the knockout prop is +225 for Morono, but I'm not into playing it. Morono by decision is +150. I think that could happen. You're over 2.5 is -165. Morono, if I have to play it, it's money line, but at -225, I'd rather parlay it. I'm looking for the plus money lines.
I mean, Dirty Bird was able to win a decision over Mike Perry. Mike Perry's got some hands. Just ask Luke Rockhold.
True. That's fucking interesting, right? That was an unmotivated Mike Perry. That was coachless Mike Perry. His girlfriend was training him.
Same girlfriend, by the way.
Pretty savage, man.
I got to meet her. She's like 4'10".
Yeah.
What a sweet lady. He he came in there with no corner. That's the most Mike Perry shit of all time.
So the pick here for me is Morono. For Mike is Morono. I'll lean the knockout side. Mike going decision. Let's ride up to the next one. Let's get to the featured bout of the night. It's Ian Garry versus Daniel Rodriguez. I might take some heat in this one, Mike Finch. But I think that Ian Garry might be jumping a little bit too far up for this fight with D-Rod. I think D-Rod's a tricky out. I think he's a guy that's slept on. He's got fucking heavy hands. He's got some power. He's got a good southpaw stance. Ian Garry's slicker and longer from the outside. But he was dropped by Kenan Song in the last one, and I asked myself, if D-Rod is willing to bring a high output, can he get the fight out of there? Can he get the knockout? I'm going to go D-Rod by KO against the grain.
Holy shit, by KO?
Yeah.
What does he hit him with, AJ?
I think potentially it would have to be a fucking right hook or a left overhand. Maybe a straight left, but the length favors Garry. He's southpaw, yeah. Because Ian Garry, at times, if he looks to close the gap, I feel like the hand might drop.
Well, Ian Garry stands kind of tall, too.
He does. So I'm not saying this is lock of the year, bro. You're
saying lock of the year. That's what I heard, right? That's what
century. We're
cutting that out. Just
him and Romano.
Lock of the year. D-Rod knockout over Ian Garry. Ian Garry's gonna fuck him up, AJ. Ian Garry's faster. He's relaxed. He's got better in and out. Like D-Rod's a little heavy. He'll kind of plod forward. And I think Ian Garry's gonna be on his bike, kind of feinting him and getting him to bite on some feints and then coming in there, pop, pop, pop. Now D-Rod's got a lot of sparring experience with like Cowboy Cerrone, and he's seen good kickboxing for sure. It's going to be a competitive fight, but Ian Garry kind of matches up nicely with him because Ian Garry, I think, a little longer, a little quicker, going to be able to have a little better footwork and no threat of the takedowns really from D-Rod, So, dude, I like Ian Garry in this fight. I'm totally on the other side. My lock of the year, Ian Garry. No, I mean, come on. He's a favorite. How wide? AJ's my odds man. How wide?
All right. Right now, the odds are -310 Ian Garry, +260 for D-Rod. I'm going to say this, okay? You look at the last opponent for Ian Gary who got to him was Kenan Song, 71.5-inch reach, right? So a little bit less length. You got 74-inch reach for Rodriguez, which is the exact same as Ian Gary. Fight before.
Is that right?
Gabe Green, a little bit shorter of a guy, 5'9", who's got actually a long reach at 73. Darion Weeks before that, 72-inch reach, right? So he's fighting guys with less reach throughout most of the fights on the come up. Now, one guy who was long was Jordan Williams, but ultimately, I don't think Jordan Williams has the same level of striking game as D-Rod for the most part, besides that sick knockout of RoboCop on Contender Series. I'm going to say that D-Rod catches him, bro. I'm going against the grain. Maybe I'm sick in this one. Maybe I'm fucking being clouded with my judgment here after, warfare last week. But I think that Ian Gary, after getting dropped against Kenan Song, I'm like, if a good heavy-handed guy finds that chin, and especially it wasn't long ago. Ian Gary fought him when? March the 4th. So not that long back, bro. We got what, 2 months since that fight? No, excuse me. Was it 2 weeks or 2 months? I'm seeing fucking two different things. Hold on one second. March the 4th. Yeah, 2 months. We'll find out.
Ian Gary is 6'3".
Long
So
man.
I almost find it hard to believe they have the same reach. D-Rod, what the fuck kind of monkey ass arms?
How tall you think D-Rod looks, bro? What would you guess?
Fuck?
He's
Knuckles
6'1".
dragging on the ground ass body type do you got, bro?
He's a freak.
I got long arms. I mean, I've always had a long reach for my height, but damn, D-Rod, really. So if the reach is the same, that's interesting. No, I still think it's the in and out. It's the being relaxed part. I think Gary might have better hands, bro. Even though Rodriguez might hit harder, that the timing, the speed. I like this young prospect, bro.
Respect,
I like
man.
this young prospect. But
He's
hey,
heavyweight,
ballsy call. I'm glad that you don't give a fuck. You'll jump on these dogs. Good for
what I
you,
gotta
bro.
do.
AJ went to the dog pound this week.
Listen, I see what I don't know. I see something. I see a chance, and I'm not sold on Machado-Garry. You know what I'm saying?
All right, fair enough.
That's it.
Sold to the man in the Killfoot shirt. Shout out to Killfoot. Appreciate this. Where is it? There it is. There it is. Appreciate this. It was handed to me at the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships 41 event by the crew over there at Killfoot. Appreciate it, guys. They host a podcast and stuff. I wish I could shout them out. I don't remember the podcast name. How dare I? They even gave me their sticker, but they hooked me up with this cool Killfoot shirt. So shout out to them. I appreciate it. I'll go with the favorite. I'll go with Ian Gary, and he might even score a nice late KO. Give me a slip of the cross and a high kick. Let's put Rodriguez the fuck out.
Oh, Mike Finch. Respect, though. I'll give you Ian Gary by knockout prop. Sits at plus 265. D-Rod on the other side by KO plus 575. But I like Moneyline D-Rod. Give me dog money. Give me dog money, brother. Bring the dogs.
I hope you lock that. That's a crazy pick, bro. I hope you lock that.
We'll see.
I see. We got to man up with some of these, though. I should have locked Bilal. It's like, dude, when you're confident, I hear the confidence in your voice. Yeah. Lock it.
Let's go. Co-main event coming up, Mike Finch. It is Anthony Lionheart Smith and Johnny Walker. Oh. Yes, bro. What a W co-main event. The action is fire right here with this. This is a fight that could be on a pay-per-view card easily. Oh, yeah. I'm picking Johnny Walker because the momentum's in his favor, and I have to say I am slightly concerned about Anthony Smith's mileage, right? At this point, he's coming off an injury. He was hurt his last fight, now coming back into this one, I believe ankle injury, if I'm not mistaken, in the fight against Ankalaev. He now fights Johnny Walker, who's a bitch to deal with. Anthony Smith's got good striking, but I never see him as a big, heavy puncher, right? He's not a knockout artist. And we look at the losses Johnny Walker, takes. He, loses a fight to Jamal Hill, who's now the champion of the world. No shame. He loses to Thiago Santos, who, Santos does have a win over Anthony Smith, regardless of how long ago it was. Different stylistic matchup. Walker's kind of coming into his own. He said he gave up the CBD lion. You know what I'm saying? He's not ripping that shit like I am. So he's saying he's feeling more relaxed. He's feeling calmer. That might be the secret, bro. I think that Johnny Walker can knock Anthony Smith out, man. I'm going to go Walker by KO.
I'm kind of feeling it too, dude. Yeah, he looked dangerous in that last fight against the triangle guard specialist. And the odds are like even here, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, last out was against Ankalaev for Anthony Smith, so I guess I can't judge him too harshly. The Ryan Spann win is nice, although Ryan Spann's had some adversity as of late. So, yeah, I think Walker's a little more dangerous, but Walker also is the type of fighter where it's like a high risk, high reward style. Like he could get knocked out too, you know? And then Lionheart is pretty heavy with his top game. You know, if Lionheart gets on top of you, I can imagine him just squeezing in half guard and slowly working to the mount and getting to some good spots on Johnny Walker. But Johnny Walker is good with like, you know, elbows from where you didn't expect it, and he'll spin or jump it when you didn't expect it. You know, he's more athletic. You know, if him and Anthony Smith were going to go through like an obstacle course, all my money is on Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker's a freak.
Yeah, he's a freak athlete.
I respect the people who are on Anthony Smith. I mean, Anthony Smith, rear naked strangle, not a bad pick here. But yeah, I have trouble picking against Johnny Walker after that last Paul Craig performance. And, you know, he's got his mojo back, man. He's not smoking the ganj, and he's got his fucking mojo back, just won by a nice finish. And maybe he'll get another one here, man. Give me Johnny Walker knockout, maybe first or second round.
He's saving the ganj for me, bro. I appreciate you, Johnny Walker, my guy. Listen, I think Johnny Walker by knockout. I think he's taking Anthony Smith out. Odds are close, like you said, bro. I'm looking at -106 Johnny Walker, -114 Anthony Smith. So ever so slight dog. It's essentially an even money fight between these two. I do think Walker by KO. It's +140 for that. I don't think this one's going the distance. Under 1.5 is -145. Kind of think it's going to end up being a scrap going short. But if I'm throwing down, the side that I'm going is money line Johnny Walker as opposed to that under. I'm going to ride confidently with my guy. I think that Johnny Walker can do it. I feel like the momentum's in his favor. And right now, if he wins this fight, he's got huge opportunities on the horizon because he could be a viable challenge potentially for an Alex Pereira moving up to 205 if that's still a thing. I know he's been going back and forth with Izzy on Twitter, but let's say hypothetically Pereira does want to go up. He says, you know, UFC says, oh, you need to fight somebody. Johnny Walker would be that matchup. Imagine they do it in Brazil. That's a huge fight night. That'd be huge. Yeah.
That's a fun fight, dude. Johnny Walker going in there. You know he's going to try to knock him out. You know, that's a lot of fun. Yeah, I don't know if Johnny Walker's that good at kickboxing, but the dude's fucking dangerous for sure. It's a fun fighter to watch, right? Yeah. Anytime you see Johnny Walker is going to step in the cage, like, all right, it's going to be a fucking fight. It's going down. If Anthony Smith is smart, he'll be very conservative, conservative in this fight. Very simple: jab, cross, leg kick, takedown, under over clinch, work to the back, try to get a rear naked strangle. You know, Anthony Smith has the capability of winning this fight. So I'm going to stay away from it personally, but I could see a Johnny Walker knockout, dude. That's not crazy. Let's go with it.
Let's go. Johnny Walker knockout, the pick for us both as we go up to the main event. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. It's Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus Jailton Almeida. Mike Finch, Jailton Almeida is next up at heavyweight. He's a high confidence pick. I think he's going to beat Rozenstruik on the ground where he's going to be most comfortable. But the question is going to lie upon this, Mike. And I have this question for you because I'm curious what you're thinking. Is it a ground and pound stoppage, or does he get a submission of Jairzinho Rozenstruik? Because ultimately, you look at Almeida's last fight. It was against, let me bring the name here, Shamil Abdurrahimov. He got a ground and pound stoppage. Abdurrahimov, though, is notable as a grappler. Before that, Anton Turkali wins by submission. Parker Porter wins by submission. Danilo Marquez, notable grappler, ground and pounds him. Nazaredinov, fucking OV at the end of the name. This is a guy who takes out those guys from that part of the world. It's Jailton. He wins by submission there. So ultimately, it's going to be, is it ground and pound or sub? That's where I'm at because I think Jailton's got this fight for sure.
I got Rozenstruik knockout. No, of course. You know I like Jailton. I mean, when was I was on Jailton from the motherfucking jump, bro. Jailton's been my guy. I was impressed by Jailton right away. Yeah, Jailton Almeida should dominate this fight on the ground. He has to get the big man down. It won't be that easy. He does run a risk of getting clipped on the feet, but once it's on the ground, Jailton should just fucking overwhelm him. Rear naked strangle, bro. Rear naked strangle. primary arm goes through. He's going to put his bicep on one artery. His forearm's going to be on the other artery. He's not going to do the Hamzat Chimaev one where he puts his hand on the top of the fucking head. He's going to slide it behind the neck so you could see your fingers on either side. That's how you know you got a good rear naked strangling properly. He's going to use his primary arm, the secondary arm, and he's going to rotate because he's good at jiu-jitsu. I got Jailton Almeida strangling Jairzinho Rozenstruik.
I like the sub call there. Now, lines for the fight. The money line is -475 for Jailton Almeida. Jairzinho is a +375 underdog. Now, if you like win by submission, your line is +105. Jailton by knockout +185. But it seems like Mike and I both like sub better. I think that's more likely he subs them. It's not that he couldn't ground and pound them, but sub is +105. It's there. There's more juice on the KO line. Inside distance is -335. You're probably not playing that. Then the next question is, what round, Mike Finch?
Spirit fingers choke. That's pretty funny. Space biscuit. Appreciate that. What round? Bro, he could get him out of there early. You know, it would be intelligent to kind of take his time, let Jairzinho throw a little bit, sort of keep moving your head, keep bending your knees, let the big man slow down a little bit first to get him out of there. But it's also up to Jairzinho, like how fast is Jairzinho going to want to turn up? And if you're Jairzinho, I would try to gun for a first round knockout, which might end up going the other way. You know what I mean? Jairzinho will be too heavy on the gas pedal. He'll end up in a bad spot. First or second round, rear naked strangle Jailton, capitalizing on an over-aggressive Jairzinho Rozenstruik.
First round sub +225. Second round sub +500. So if you're chasing value, if you think it's going into the second round, it's +500.
Got to be magic to guess that shit.
Yeah, that'd be magical, bro. What was the last one? Round 2 sub last fight. Ground and pound. Round 1, though, we got Turkali. He got Parker out in round 1. Marquez, he ground and pounded in round 1. Nasruddinov round 2. I think round 1 sub, it's +225. Not as good value as round 2, but I think he's going to get him out of there in the first by submission. The heavyweight division right now should be very worried because there's nobody with this level of jiu-jitsu, really. I mean, Tom Aspinall's nasty with the jits, but
Tom Aspinall is low-key nasty.
That's the one guy. But outside of that, I mean, the ground skills of the heavyweight division, there's no jiu-jitsu savage. And Jailton Almeida is the guy. He's the Brazilian heavyweight on the come up. And maybe. Obviously, John Jones, the champ, has great ground skills, but I'm talking about contenders. Jailton Almeida could be next up, bro.
Good point. John Jones is, his wrestling just tends to lead him to be able to submit people. Fucking like almost broke the arm of Vitor Belfort, strangled Lyoto Machida unconscious. He's got some nice ones for sure. Here's the thing. Jailton Almeida is 232. Him and John Jones are like the same size.
He's a very similar build. He's like a Jack John Jones.
Yeah, bro. As to where Jairzinho Rozenstruik is a giant. So, you have to sort of avoid the bear paws of these giant, Alaskan brown bears, and then get to the submission. So yeah, I think as long as Jailton takes his time, stays a little patient, let Jairzinho make the mistake, he'll take him out as soon as that mistake is made. Could be early. As long as Jailton's not going in there trying to knock him out, that would be a bad idea, right? Go in there and bang with Jairzinho. It's the only way Jairzinho wins this fight. Left hook or right hook,
Yeah, that's it. Only way. And I think Jailton handles him nicely and dominantly on the floor.
I'm a Jailton Almeida fan, dude. I want to see Almeida make a fucking statement and get up there towards the top of the division.
We needed a heavyweight
to be made with the Brazilian.
Agreed. Jailton Almeida, the pick for us both. It is now time for the money line lock of the night. Money line lock of the night for UFC Charlotte. Mike Finch, what are you thinking this week, brother?
Dude, I why do I like all these favorites, dude? I feel like this week might be parlay week. This might be parlay week because I don't want to give you guys a big ass favorite. You can be like, why is Finch locking these fucking wide ass favorites? I like 4 picks on this card and they're all favorites. So me personally this week, probably rocking 2 parlays when I bet on this card. Jailton Almeida way too wide, obviously. We're getting a little closer with these other ones. AJ, I'm checking them just to make sure they're close. I think the closest one out of my favorite four is honestly, and AJ's gonna hate to hear it, but I might as well give it to him since we disagreed. So it'll be more fun on next Monday. Ian Gary's gonna win this fight, dude. I think Ian Gary should be a nice little lock. And if you guys hate that, double up Ian Gary with Alex Morono. I think that's a nice little lock parlay before my actual parlay. How about that?
Ian Gary, Alex Morono, plus 105 for that one. Mike Finch throwing his parlay lock of the night. I respect you going parlay. I like seeing plus money. Mike, I have sat on this one since I did the breakdown show yesterday, and I decided, listen, we're in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm going with Charlotte's own. I'm going with Bryan Battle. Underdog, Bryan Battle, lock of the night for me on this card is going to be him to win it. Plus 120 range. I like that play. I'm going to be throwing down on him. I'm ready to ride him to the bank. I think that he's going to be a hard matchup for Gabe Green. Yes, Gabe Green's got heavy hands and he's good in close. I think Battle's good at keeping distance. When they get close, Battle can control him in the clinch and the wrestling. So give me Bryan Battle, underdog, lock of the night, baby. Yeah.
I like it. Ballsy. There you go. There's a ballsy take, folks.
Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. I'm going with Charlotte's own, man. I'm excited as fuck for this one, bro. Let's get to the next segment, guys. We got to talk about some parlays.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time. Open up your wallet and get ready to place some bets.
Parlay time. Let's make some fucking cash, bro. All right, let's kill it with the parlay. Mike Finch just gave you guys a lot of the night.
I got another one.
Respect it. What's this next one, Mike Finch?
This next one is called the fucking parlay of the century, but the problem is the odds aren't too sexy. So if you feel like throwing other ones in there, you can. But dude, I mean, this one's pretty fucking solid. Carlos Ulberg should absolutely smash Ihor Potieria. Sure. And then Jailton Almeida should strangle Rozenstruik. I don't see these fights as very competitive. Give me Carlos Ulberg. Give me Jailton Almeida. How far am I with these odds?
You got minus 180, bro.
Minus 180, I'll take. My parlay, I'll have to take the minus 180 hit. You know why? Because the confidence is very high. Yeah. All four of my picks this week: Jailton Almeida, Ian Gary, Carlos Ulberg, Alex Morono. You mishmash those up how you want to. I do think I'm going to have to take a stab at that minus 180 line.
All right, Mike Finch throwing Ulberg and Jailton Almeida. He's got some big favorite money, but like, listen, those are guys that are they're gonna win, bro. They're gonna win. I don't see
Ulberg should absolutely embarrass Ihor Potieria. Knockout.
Yeah, I don't think it should be a competitive fight. I'm agreeing with you on that. For me, I'm sitting in fucking no man's land because I don't want to bring in my lock dog with the parlay. I'm trying to mix things up a little bit. So I feel like I like Carlos Ulberg and Jailton Almeida a lot. So I just want to add to the smoke. I want to add to Mike Finch's steam. He put Morono in his last one. I'll ride him with Morono at plus 125. It's a 3-fighter play, Ulberg, Almeida, Morono. But I will tell you guys, I don't like this parlay nearly as much. This is like the safety side parlay. So I want to give you the, you know what I'm saying, savage risk parlay. We're going Pete Rodriguez on the fucking slate. And we're going to go Pete Rodriguez with Jailton Almeida. And we're going to add in Alex Morono to win at plus 481. Fuck it. And then you know what? Let's go Ulberg and let's go high risk territory. Plus 647. Pete Rodriguez, Almeida, Morono, Ulberg. Pete Rodriguez
Holy
is a stretch pick, but it's balls on the line. I'm ready to fucking bring the fire. Listen, I'd like to add it. I'd like to do Bryan Battle in a parlay as well. I mean, I think a good play, if you want to add in with my lock, I don't, usually like to do it, but I guess I'll just have it as an extension and we'll probably talk about it throughout the week. But I think Bryan Battle with Alex Morono and Carlos Ulberg, if you're looking for plays, is a pretty solid one. And then I see why not add in Jailton. It's plus 390 for Battle, Morono, Ulberg, Almeida. So something to consider for sure. There's a good amount of fucking bookies out there, man. You know what I'm saying? To throw down these parlays at. So go place yourself some plus. Get some
God
plus
damn.
money.
I personally, I wouldn't have Bryan battle in a parlay.
Respect. I respect you,
Bryan
bro.
battle's not in my motherfucking parlay. If we're playing battle, we're doing single money line fucking bet, and I'm gonna be sitting there biting all my fingernails off. If you're playing battle, if battle's, you know,
I'm going to battle, baby.
you played at the money line.
Put the shades on, man.
Straight
I'm going
bet.
to fucking battle, baby. I'm going with my
Holy
guy.
shit.
I'm going with my guy. I'm ready for it, Mike Finch. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, this guy's taking him out. Last week, I don't know what happened. Kron Gracie, he distracted me. I appreciate jujitsu too much. You see that blue belt? That's high level shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, this is the god of this game. I think he could work. You know, we're not in 99 anymore. Bryan Battle can do it all. He's an MMA specialist. I think he's getting it done. And then, dude, I'm fucking excited for Pete Rodriguez. I'm an MMA Lab fan now, so I'm riding with him, bro. You know, I'm riding with it. Let's go,
dude. I respect it. I really do. Dixon was asking me earlier about what you just brought up, so it might as well do it now. Yeah, as far as the Kron Gracie fight, I think that Kron is just relying, like his father, Rickson Gracie, talks about how you don't need other martial arts, that you don't, that their style can still work at the highest levels. They have this belief that, you know, you only need to be like baseline competent in boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, and that, you know, if you really do their jiu-jitsu right, it'll beat anybody in the world. I think that's wrong. I think in mixed martial arts today, you have to be better at your opponent than 2 out of 3 aspects of the fight. And the reason why you know, Kron Gracie is struggling is because he's only better at 1 out of the 3 aspects. Now, another thing to bring up on this is the Craig Jones point. Craig Jones brings this up when he talks about you know, how jiu-jitsu players have been shit on by the Dagestanis. You don't want to just automatically pin yourself, and jiu-jitsu players continually do this. They put their back on the mat, they wrap their legs around you, and they pin themselves. Their hips are flat on the mat, their shoulders are flat on the mat. This is not ideal. Really what you want to do is start elevating people, getting under them, getting behind them, getting outside of their elbows, all these things that require sort of, you know, a hybrid of wrestling and jiu-jitsu, or an active jiu-jitsu game. You don't want to have a very passive 1990s jiu-jitsu game. It's just not going to be the best way to play. I was just at Art of Jiu-Jitsu today, and I'll tell you, nobody there is just laying on their back in full closed guard. Everybody's working butterfly guard, elevating people, getting in on the legs, working De La Hiva, working, you know, this sort of attacking jiu-jitsu. And as long as you have that attacking style when you're on your back and you're trying to work to the other person's back and you're trying to work for sweeps, that's going to work in MMA, especially when you couple it with either great striking, right? So I could outstrike you, you take me down, I submit you on the ground, or great wrestling. I can't strike with you, but I decide where the fight takes place, and now you're getting strangled. Kron needs one more aspect, and it would be nice to see the boxing come through with all the training with the Diaz brothers and whatnot. It's not.
Kron Gracie can't box, bro. He can't box.
He's stiff.
He's stiff,
he's
bro.
Stuck in a mud. It's like he's stuck in a mud almost.
It is, dude. It is. He's a stiff boxer. He got worse. He was better against Cub Swanson. His boxing diminished. I don't know what the hell happened, man. It is what it is. I'll tell you this. If I got you know, a fucking project I'm doing, I got a screwdriver and I need a hammer too. I can't just, what am I fucking just bringing one tool out? Listen, it's not 1999. You know, Rickson Gracie is a legend, and we got mad respect for him as a martial artist, and he's a knowledgeable jiu-jitsu practitioner and fighter. But ultimately, what he's saying is not true anymore. It's not 1999. There's guys with great takedown defense, good defensive jiu-jitsu, and now they can kickbox. You're fucked. You got another guy on the other side. He can wrestle. I mean, what happens if Kron Gracie took a guy on that also had pretty good wrestling, right? A guy that just could wrestle his ass off. He can't get to him. He's going to lose a striking match to Ben Askren at this point. I think they should box.
The worst MMA striking match of all time.
I'm in.
Kron Gracie versus Ben Askren.
Let's do it. One championship kickboxing rule set. We'll do it inside of the ring. Let's find out who takes it, man.
I need bare knuckle, bro. Give me Game Bred FC on that one.
Dude, did you watch Game Bred FC this weekend?
I watched Roy Nelson lay that motherfucker out. That was pretty fucking entertaining. Big boy Roy with the fucking belly behind the shots. Don't play with Roy Nelson's power, folks.
Listen, BKFC could be a place for him at some point. I feel like he'd be a
Yeah,
big sign in
bro.
there. Now
Him
he's
and
with
Ben
Gamebred.
Rothwell.
Oh shit, bro. That's scary though. I feel like Ben's so big though. I want to give him a shorter guy.
Is so big.
He's
He is
huge.
so big. I talked to the champ. I talked to Alan Belcher. All you
Yeah.
MMA fans' ears are perking up now. I talked to Alan Belcher about fighting Ben Rothwell because I just thought, obviously, that's the next fight, right? Ben calls him out in the ring and everything. Alan was cage side. Why is he there? Oh, I don't know. To see the most famous heavyweight in BKFC fight.
Right.
No, I talked to Alan afterwards. He's like, they need to make another weight class for that guy. You know, he's a super heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. You know,
Right.
I want to fight people 265 and down. I was like, oh shit, Alan Belcher actually doesn't want the fight, but I see what he's saying. I mean, when you stand next to the dude, you're like, what the fuck is that?
No,
like,
he's huge. He's like
Big
a
Ben
fucking
is
Shrek.
huge, bro.
Yeah.
The number on the scale doesn't match up to the guy you see. You know, I've got
Right.
some friends. I got a friend, Robbie Bach, who's like 330 pounds. Bro, when you stand next to Ben Rothwell, you see what 300 pounds can really look like.
That's like stretched out all over. Everything's just humongous. Yeah, he's huge, bro.
An oaf.
I don't think Alan Belcher and him's a good fight because Belcher was notorious for being a middleweight. And now he's fighting as heavyweight in bare knuckle, but he's an undersized heavyweight. I think it's honestly, they need to consider that do they want to do a cap? Do they want to do a 265 cap? But I'm hearing 285 cap. 285 is still huge. The UFC heavyweight cap was 265. So ultimately, then we have to leak into, do we do a fucking 265 plus weight class, super heavyweight? That weight class is going to be filled with guys that are overweight and slow. And you're going to have Ben Rothwell probably killing everybody, but ultimately it's a boring weight class. So I think find a weight to agree upon. He's got to weigh in at 270 or something like that.
Well, so that's what they did, AJ. They did 285, and he had to cut weight to make 285. He's huge, dude. He's fucking huge. He says he's never going to 265 again. He had to cut weight to make 285, brother. And if you guys want to hear him talk about that weight cut, check out my podcast with Big Ben Rothwell on my channel. Link in the description. Guys, I'm here for 5 more minutes if you want to bring any shit up. I see you guys talking about Merab. I thought Merab putting the jacket on was fucking hilarious.
Oh, it's a great moment.
He inserted himself into that.
That was a great moment. I thought he looked like, I don't know, it was like a Michael Jackson outfit too, bro. It was pretty funny. Yeah. Jumps on the cage with his savagery. He's like, yeah. Dude, I think that Merab is an interesting player there at 35. If Aljo does get past O'Malley, I think Aljo would finally get his shot. I just don't know who the fuck that would be against because, the division's getting cleared out with fucking Sterling and Merab beating people, but Merab's got no title around his waist.
Yeah, what the fuck? Merab's just gonna sit there and babysit the number 1 contender spot. Crazy,
that's his boy.
Right? Did
Listen,
somebody tell Merab you're gonna make $1 million if you
not enough
champion?
money for their friendship, I guess.
Wow, really? They're that much for they could hardly speaks English. How good of friends can they really be?
Maybe hand gestures or something like that.
Bro, did you see the fan? This was months ago. The fan that said some shit is like, yeah, you need to fight Aljo, man. We want to see that fight. And Merab tried to kill him. He's like, I fuck your face or whatever he was saying to him. It was like, whoa. He
Merab's
went off.
He's gonna fucking end up in prison
about this fight.
He's gonna end up in prison, bro. If you don't ever bring up Merab fighting Aljo to his face. You might he might be outside the UFC and he's going in a different cage, bro. The fucking correctional cage.
Holy shit! I better bring Henry Cejudo with me next time I talk to fucking Merab. Yeah, I think Henry Cejudo is really ballsy for that Merab call out, dude. I think Henry Cejudo versus Chito Vera is the right fight if you're Ali Abdelaziz and you're Henry Cejudo's manager. That Merab fight, Merab's name is not as big as Henry's, but his skill set is.
The skill set's A1. I'm in. I want to see it, brother. It's been a blast talking this card. It was great seeing you yesterday for Bare Knuckle. So if you guys don't watch Bare Knuckle Bets, bro, check out the app. Check us out. We give the top picks on the fucking web for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships. Hopefully Mike Finch is in attendance for another one of their cards. Hopefully maybe even this one on Friday. Maybe you're there, bro. I'm hoping you are.
We'll see what's up. Bro. We'll see what's up. I hope you guys are eating up the BKFC content. It's all up on their app. Interviewed everybody. They got the interviews up with Big Ben Rothwell, my interview with Mike Perry. All that stuff is up there. Big shout out to BKFC. Love seeing you guys on Mondays. Bet responsibly. Make sure you tune in to AJ shows all week.
People, thank you for watching. Smash the likes and subscribe, and we will see you all in the next one. Peace, guys.